What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Waliberali Show. Today we have another episode, and we have two new faces, I think. So we have on our side, this is Tejo.
Do I introduce myself as
yes,
well?
Yes,
you introduce myself, but yeah, hi everyone. What do I say?
That's it.
That's it, babes. And then we have Sine Ntlantla.
I'm lucky.
Okay, guys. So this episode, we've been going back and forth about it. It's a very sensitive topic. So we're just gonna ask everybody on the panel to be respectful, right? Yeah, we're all people. We all know these are just our thoughts. Let's not hate. Mm-hmm. Let's not show hate and everything. Okay, this is a conversation, right? We are talking about the LGBTQI plus, right? And yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so on this side we have our allies.
No, right. Guys, looking beautiful today.
Yeah, okay.
And then the side.
Don't call me. Don't.
We just have some people with questions.
Yes.
They just want to know more about it.
No hate.
So, yeah, guys, take it off. Can we just start off by just asking what our sexualities are? I'm hetero.
But hetero means you're straight, right?
Yes,
yeah. I'm also heterosexual.
Okay.
I'm pansexual.
Okay.
I'm heterosexual, and I think it's important that we mention pronouns as well, because we're moving into a very.
Wait, but that's not really sexuality. That's just your gender.
Yeah, but that's also part of this convo, though.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be part of this convo also. Shh. Calm down.
That's exactly the problem.
Okay, you guys can mention your pronouns if you want to.
My pronouns are she and her.
My pronouns are he, him.
Mine are she, her.
What's your sexuality?
Yeah. We already said our sexuality.
I'm heterosexual.
Yeah, and then what are your pronouns? You don't have pronouns, so you just...
The way you'd refer me as
heterosexual.
Yeah, I did say heterosexual.
Okay. Yeah, apparently I'm heterosexual, but I'm straight.
Oh.
Yeah,
apparently.
Whatever it is.
I'm
also straight, heterosexual. Yes.
That's God made.
I'm just straight. Booty, what heterosexual is, what pansexual, whatever. I honestly don't know. But I'm straight.
All right, can we ask what is being pansexual?
So pansexual is where I'm more attracted to personality. I do not sexualize both male, female, or any other classification in the spectrum, but I am fully cast to anyone who I find mentally stimulating.
Are you not then just bisexual?
No, so with bisexuality, that's where the sexualizing comes in, For me, well, I don't really know, but that's how I saw the definition on Google. So that's how I've chose to identify as the internet tells me.
So you're not you're not sexually attracted to these people. It's just the mind.
Problem.
So
it's
then
just mentally.
So are you not asexual?
No. Also, if I could touch on that. So when it's the whole personality thing later on, that's where I'd develop feelings and want to experiment or engage in such connotations where it's fellatio, cunnilingus, and
so you wouldn't
all the other things.
So you wouldn't. Your first thought is not engaging in sexual activities with that person.
None of that.
And then when did you realize that? Oh, I'm pansexual.
So
when did you break it down to pansexuality?
To break it down, actually, for me, sexuality is actually a journey. That's what I believe. At first, I was straight, and then around grade 7, I started having this whole feeling that maybe I don't really like women because my male friends would tell me now they're having attraction to women. They would have started watching pornography and they were all talking about lesbian and all that, but I wouldn't really relate on the level they would be exposing it as. So then I also started seeing a few boys as more attractive than females around me. And then later on around grade 10, 9, that's where the pansexuality concept came in. But to how it keeps changing, it shows me that it's forever something new, and also due to expiration since I'm still young, something new occurs.
So your sexuality could change
anytime.
Yeah, from now.
Essentially.
Okay. So don't you think? Okay. Don't you think sexuality is primarily based on your biology?
Not really.
Why so?
So then that's with the gender. That's why I was gender being involved, because then I'm a cisgender pansexual. Cisgender means I identify as the gender I was born in.
Okay.
And then there's trans, and then all the other ones that fall in.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay, because personally for me, this between differentiating gender and what's this, sex,
Sexuality.
it doesn't make sense because they are hand in hand. It's like they're hand in hand, because if, for example, my gender, not automatically, but if I'm biologically born a male, that means automatically my gender is male, you get me? So for me, the one thing that I don't understand about this LGBTQ thing is that you can sort of, like
Pick and choose.
Like you can pick and choose, which is okay, ne? But I now if I perhaps, based on my normal eyes, based on logic, if I want to look at you, you're a man.
But
and if I do,
a man can kiss a man logically.
Okay.
So
okay.
How is the logic in this? Logically, a butthole is a butthole, right?
Yes. Okay.
So
okay.
What do you mean by logic?
Logically, for me, obviously, the way I look at you, I automatically associate you as a male. You get me?
Okay.
It's not about
But then it's only like that due to procreation. So male and female must be together to make the generation continue.
Okay, exactly my point. That's how biology has always existed throughout every animal as well, every other animal as well. So personally, for me, like I said, the one thing that I don't understand about this LGBTQ thing is the fact that you can pick and choose whatever, which is okay, I guess that's okay. But my problem is when I'm forced to identify you as something you're not, like you're not like I don't know how to say it. Seems wrong, but it doesn't make sense to me. Like I can't call you a woman if you're not a woman.
Again,
like,
it
bruh,
all comes down to respect. You have to respect another person. If
I must deceive my eyes now. I must lie to my eyes now.
Hold on. Even if you don't believe in it, I think it's just respecting people.
Okay.
This may be a hot take, or like I may be just,
Yeah.
But the same way how you respect other people's religions, I think it's the same way you should respect people's sexuality. I'm Christian, right? I have Muslim friends. I have friends who are Hindu and all of that. And I will respect their religions because that's what they believe in. I will not trash what they believe in because I don't believe in it. I believe in Jesus Christ, but my friend who's Muslim believes in Allah, and that's okay. So for me, it's just like, as much as you may see that, okay, what my eyes are seeing is a man or a woman, if they don't identify as that, that's okay, and you just respect them, even if you don't believe in that. I don't go along with the whole idea of people trashing the LGBTQIA community. I don't understand it, because why does someone's sexuality bother you so much?
Okay.
Yeah, that's just me.
Okay, wait. When you say respect, as in if someone who was born a male now identifies as a female, so her pronouns are she, her, but she was male, male at birth. Are you saying me respecting them is referring to them as she, her?
Yes. So if a person comes up to you and say, for example, let's take Caitlyn Jenner, right? She transitioned, right? And now her pronouns are she, her. So if you meet them and they're like, oh, please refer to me as she or her, then respect that and just refer to them as that. Why do you want to change it and cause this whole ruckus and be like, no, but you're a boy. You're like, he, him, And then that's just, I feel like it's unnecessary conflict.
So can I, so if I wake up tomorrow, right, identify as a millionaire, right? If I go to the bank and I ask to buy, I don't know, like a car that I cannot afford, and they tell me, no, you do not have this car, like you do not have this money, but I say I identify as a millionaire, does that make me a millionaire?
I feel like we just operate on
no, whoa. Like, okay, like, where do we draw the line? Where do we draw the line? Because now if your children come to you and be like, mommy, I identify as a horse, and that's what I want to be, because they love horses, you understand? Where do we draw the line? Like, how do you do that? Like, he's saying, I can literally identify right now as non-human and I don't want to pay taxes, so I'm not human. Now, must the government now respect, or just because it's like...
I was referring to like when you're talking to the person. I don't know about the external factors, and I don't know much about the whole LGBTQI community. I support them because I just see no need in hating people. So in contexts like that, I don't know. I will not give you an answer that I do not know of.
I think what the problem is here with, like, you're talking about people's opinions on the thing. I think the problem is what we have is like your guys's what like agenda is being pushed on us. Do you understand? Like it's being shoved on us, right? And it's weird because it's like we literally this pronoun thing. I went to school for 12 years, writing tests and everything, where they taught me that there's he, she, and that. Now suddenly, we now suddenly can go to.
The conversation is
Can I ask
longer.
something on pronouns actually? What does it mean like when you like what sexuality are you when you address yourself as they, them? They're
So
like a plural.
They them would actually be people who are pansexual, but when it comes, this is why also.
So
in terms
you
of
don't
the whole-
attach
No,
a gender
this
to
while
you.
in terms of like when it comes to the LGBT conversation, I don't want to like go into with the gender because me as personally, I don't understand they them. People might identify as both genders. That's cool. That's them.
Right.
As she says, respect.
Okay.
But on my,
also not-
you see, because then now it's like it creates like the whole thing like a millionaire and then horse, and then now
What's
it's like
non-binary?
non-binary.
Yeah.
That's where you don't identify as anything at all.
So that's where they, them would come in.
Essentially, but not quite.
So
But
you don't
yeah.
identify yourself as anything, meaning you're not
You
on
see,
that spectrum
So
of
then it becomes like
sexualities that
quite a very, very, very like lucid conversation, and it's like where do we end up in this? Because
That's
it's
the point
a big
exactly.
pool.
Because if you guys don't understand it, what must happen with us? If
No,
you
but-
guys don't understand this one thing that you're pushing, you don't understand
Thing
they,
is,
them.
I
What must
understand
happen?
my sexuality.
I understand that, but like what I'm
talking
saying,
about gender.
I understand that, but what I'm saying about pushing it on us is like it's literally going into a place where our children are now having to have these things where we have gender neutral bathrooms and we have children who can at 6 years old say that they want to be transgender. Do you understand? You're pushing this on like everything. We must now transform ourselves and things that we've known that like and we believe in just to like conform. Do you understand? With religion, we don't do that. Muslims don't force all of us to be Muslim. Christians don't force everybody to go to church. We don't do that. But with your guys' thing, like we have flags everywhere, we have parades, we have, and you guys don't like you guys. We can't have opinions because then we're called homophobes. Do you understand?
Okay.
Because it's like attacking you
Can
guys.
I-
Whoa, let me chat. I think in terms of the respecting, you were saying tankies. With that, look, if you're gonna be transgender, sharp, that's totally fine. You look like a woman, I'll call you her, she, whatever. As long as you look like a woman. Marangege is come on, dude.
Why not?
Come on, like I feel like no, not even that. Nah, it's not that. I think for me, that's when I step away from the situation. If you want to buy transgender, go through with it all the way. If not, then to me, you're still gonna be
Also, what you're saying,
a
I
gen,
think,
dude.
okay, this is another topic that I'm bringing into this. I think this is another thing. A lot of men are okay with girls being lesbian, but not okay with men being gay. Why is that?
Because clearly, okay, personally. Yeah, you have what to say?
No.
Yeah, say.
Just ask the question.
Okay, I have 2 questions, right?
Louder.
Must I
Just,
speak
I
on the
don't
mic?
think they can hear you here.
Can you please speak on a
Let me
mic,
speak on the
please?
mic, right? So, damn, crazy. So my one question is, being a pansexual, right? Are you comfortable with like being grouped with the other sexualities as well? Because like now, I feel like, for instance, like you know what a pansexual is. That's what you are.
Sure.
Now comes a conversation of them asking you about like cis and like other sexualities just because you're in the same group.
Sure.
Do you have like a problem with like being in the same group as like everyone else?
I don't have a problem being under the LGBTQI plus, but then I have a problem with the whole gender aspect because then I don't really want to conversate when it's they them. But when it's like somebody like a male who hasn't even transitioned, which I want to touch on his point, like some people don't have the money, guys. Like some people can't really afford the whole I need to now change my genitals, maybe like get boob reduction and look like a boy. You see?
But isn't
So-
that where gender dysmorphia now comes in?
Yeah,
Now you're
but then-
forever in a mental state where you can't accept who you are.
So, but then some people feel like they weren't born in the right body, and I won't disregard that from them, and I won't make them feel like they're delusional in terms of that. So it's like that's why I'm like, in terms of money, it's very expensive to do plastic surgery as a whole, and then now you're going to change a whole construct of your biology.
Just the last question. Kind of like in defense of like the LGBTQ in a way. I had a conversation with an individual who associates part of the LGBTQ stuff, and I asked them about the whole like pronoun thing, right? And I was like, why do we have to like refer to you guys as they, them? Like according to English, it does not make sense. It's not grammatically correct or anything like that, right? Yeah. What do you guys feel? Because this is how he responded to me, and I felt like, okay, like he had a point. Like, we are so comfortable with referring to each other as Jita or bro, or we can mold or whatever, like we can fabricate the English language to associate it with a certain meaning, and we refer to each other as that, and we're comfortable with that. So he was asking, what's the problem with them? Yeah, like what's the problem with you changing the meaning of the word to refer to them as that as well?
I think mostly in terms of that, those words are synonyms, and they're not just words that don't make sense in the sentence.
But then you can't
it's literally
go,
derived
some
from
guys
bro,
call-
comes from brother.
Some guys call females bro, if you're talking about it on that. But I'd like her to say a point.
Sorry,
But
yeah,
that's
sorry. I just wanted to add a bit of my 2 cents and some of the things that have been brought up, but specifically what you just brought up now, with how we can just kind of mold the language. If you look at, I know I'm going to speak as a black person, but I mean, in a lot of our African languages, pronouns are a new thing.
Yeah.
They weren't there back then. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And so we are so comfortable with making sure that a man, or I'm going to say a man or a woman, get the pronouns that they suited to, or that we think they suited to, that we think that that's what it's supposed to be, but we forget that within our own cultures, that's not something that was there before.
Can I
And
just
so
ask?
I often struggle when people say stuff like, no, that's just how it's supposed to be, when the way in which it was done, it wasn't like that. We've kind of adapted our way of life.
I don't
And so my
understand.
question then becomes, why can't we adapt our way of life? Another argument, sorry, I just want to, you spoke about how this idea of how, it's like we're forcing the idea of homosexuality onto people, right? I have this other view that I think the idea of just being heterosexual has actually been forced onto people. I think all our lives,
movies and
we've been-
stuff.
all our lives we've been indoctrinated into heterosexuality, and I'm going to give a personal example in the sense that I grew up in, I'm going to say Benoni, because I think Benoni is still somewhat of a conservative area, right?
Okay.
We don't necessarily see that much of the LGBTQ community around
us.
And as a result of that, we don't necessarily know that much about the LGBTQ community. Cool.
Okay.
I move on. I moved to a new place, moved to Pretoria, and now I noticed
Bombarded.
a whole bunch of different situations around me, and part of that was the LGBTQ community. And from that, I was able to educate myself and see that, listen, the LGBTQ community exists, and from that, I was able to understand them and respect that. Do you get what I mean? I think from that, I was already aware of the fact that we've been indoctrinated into heterosexuality. And that's when I realized that it's being forced upon us. We weren't shown what the LGBTQ community
Now that
looks
you
like.
said that, can I ask this? So now, does that mean your sexuality is influenced, like based on what people are or what you're exposed to, or are you actually born like that?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I think that
because-
experience allowed me to be open. I think that's why I myself am able to say that I'm an ally. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
There's so many people who now, as they encounter that environment, they're able to see that, oh, growing up, I did like guys, but I did like women, but I'm a girl. You get what I mean? Maybe I am lesbian, but because they weren't given the necessary terminology or the necessary knowledge or exposure to the LGBTQ community growing up, the idea of heterosexuality was kind of shoved down their throats.
So technically, you're saying that your sexuality is influenced by the society.
I don't think it's influenced. I think it brings about awareness. And from that awareness, you're able to make decisions that are based by knowledge.
Okay. Can I ask a question that is like a little far-fetched or like taboo? But like, I want to know from your guys' standpoints as allies, what is your feeling on rapists and serial killers? What are your thoughts?
In aspects of
That's the
LGBTQ,
question. She did say
can you
that.
please be more,
From what context? 'Cause it's
because that's
very
quite
broad.
vague.
What do you think? Like, what are your thoughts on rapists and serial killers?
Probably trying to make a point. Just continue. Answer the question.
Of course, there's
On both ends, if a male rapes a woman, it's like quite bad, and if a woman rapes a man, it's quite bad. But then if we go on the aspect of like a
Woman
man
rapes a
wouldn't
woman.
really report being raped by a woman.
The act of rape. What do you think of the act? It's bad.
It's
bad.
dehumanizing.
So
It's very
rapists are.
dehumanizing because I don't have
Should
consent
be-
to what I want to like do.
Should be
what's
looked at
happening.
out of the
So
something.
rapists would be bad,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now what happens if, once again, my point is where do we draw the line? What happens if a person who rapes wants to identify as a rapist?
Okay.
Whoa. Because you guys are talking about feelings.
Sure.
A transgender person would feel as though they don't belong in the body that they were made in, right?
Sure.
So when a rapist goes out and they feel like raping, where do we draw the line? Like,
But
and
you're not-
now say to this person, no, your feelings don't matter
Like
or
something
whatever.
I
It's
realized,
okay.
you're not talking about feelings, it's talking about pronouns.
No, I'm asking
And-
you
and
in
like,
your sexuality.
I get what you mean.
Right.
And that's why I keep saying gender. Because sexuality and gender are two different things.
But you're not answering my question.
No, I
Your
want that to be
feelings.
like
Sorry.
quite separated because
Okay, but I'm not talking about
sexuality
gender.
is, no, gender is when you talk about like I'm female, I'm male, I'm they, I'm them.
Okay, you.
That's gender.
Okay,
So that's when I'm feeling like I'm a different gender.
okay. Let me to your
Because
point.
sexuality, I don't feel like I'm built in the wrong body.
Okay,
It's
you
just an
said
attraction basis.
you said
So-
you started feeling attracted to men,
Yes,
right?
attraction.
And you weren't feeling like so much like to women. You weren't feeling like the people around you or anything like that. These other people as well, like serial killers don't kill because they don't want to. Do you understand? They don't wake up and be like, oh my gosh, I have to go kill. No, they feel the need to do this,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Jeffrey Dahmer felt the need to eat humans,
Okay.
right? Where do we draw the line and
Like-
now say to this person,
yeah.
because now they can identify as a serial killer.
As
That's what he wants to do. That's what he
Okay,
is. You understand?
can
What
I-
is your thoughts on that?
Let's talk about this. Now, if we take into account serial killers, example, Jeffrey Dahmer, right?
Right.
Usually people who are serial killers, I'm not saying all of them, most of them usually have a psychological issue. We cannot group the LGBTQ and rapists and serial killers as something two totally different people. These people are violating people.
Can I ask you a
When
question?
you're killing people, you're raping people. How can I compare that to people who just want to love whoever they want to love?
Right.
Now, I cannot compare those two things. If a person decides to identify as a rapist, of course that's going to be rejected because that's just like, that makes absolutely no sense. How do you want to be identified as a person who's already like moved away from
Do-
wait,
Can I
moved
ask a
away from
question?
society? Wait, can I just finish, please?
Okay.
Thank you. You can't do that. For example, there's already a whole petition of pedophiles and they want to be recognized as people and pedophilia is real. Does that make sense to you? Why
Sounds
should I
familiar.
normalize people raping children?
Can
This is two completely different things. You cannot compare people who want to love whoever they want to love and people who violate human rights like that. You can't do that.
Hold on.
Okay.
The whole reason why this is such a big conversation is because to
Where do you
us,
draw
you
the
guys
line?
don't make sense.
Yeah.
It
Yeah, I
doesn't
was
make
about to
sense
say
Why
the
does
for
it
line.
make
someone.
sense to you?
My sister. When someone says to you, like, if I were to sit right now and say to you, I don't feel like a human being, or I don't feel like a woman, like, does that not sound like like you said, your words, a psychological problem? Like you just said, those people have psychological problems, right? When someone is sitting and saying to you, like, I'm not feeling good, I don't feel like my body's my body, I want to change, I want to transform myself completely and do something that is just, I'm not created to do. Does that not sound like a psychological
But
problem
by
to you?
you saying I don't feel like myself, am I violating your rights? Am I killing you? Am I raping you? No, it's not. For me, it's just like the same way how a serial killer, you will talk to them and be like, why did you do this? Then only do you find out that they've got a psychological issue. If someone was to come up to me and say, oh, I don't feel like I'm a woman, I'd be like, okay, let's sit down and talk about it, and then you figure it out.
That's where respect comes
That's
in.
where respect comes in. I'm not
I
going to
think-
automatically label you and be like, oh no, Loya Thang, you're crazy. There's something wrong with you. I can't do that. I have to respect the way you are. The same way how I feel like a woman is the same way they feel like they don't feel like a woman. You know, it just doesn't feel right within them. I wouldn't know because I don't go through that. But that's just how I understand it.
Okay, well, I
'cause
think it's a psychological problem.
Yeah.
I think a lot of these things are just like,
Where do you draw the line?
Yeah,
there's
because
no
now-
line line. There's no logical line being drawn because
Right.
like there's her explaining the racism. I mean, not the, sorry, the rapist scenario.
Yeah.
Her point is, where is the line drawn? Because you're using the exact same words as what a rapist would say. It's like, I felt like a rapist. No. Today I woke up, I felt like a woman.
There through
You get me?
law and moral, like, I won't lie, to me.
But
You know,
guys-
there's
you guys
incidents,
are-
you know,
you guys are changing laws.
Hold
Okay.
I know you say, guys, no, it's not be aggro, because I want to, like, fight some things they say.
Yeah.
But I'm calm.
Yeah, we're not fighting, you know, just calm down.
I'm calm.
No,
Yeah.
let me say
Just
my
speak your
points.
points.
So, essentially, like, okay, now it's like on a moral compass thing.
You-
Okay, if somebody wants to be a pedophile, if somebody's attracted to children, that's them, calm. And then, like, niggas speak about it. And then, obviously, if we like, yo, children are being exposed to old people mentality at a very young age, that's something the society wants to stop. But then if that person feels like, yo, I want to rape,
Teach my child
I want to
this.
do all this, that's them. But obviously the line is drawn there with those certain things through the law. So my question for you guys, must there be a law for LGBTQ?
No, but guys,
Most definitely, because
So what law must be put?
I
what
can give you an example. I
legislation
can
must
give you
be put in place?
example to why there should be a law.
No.
Because there's been
Like,
numerous incidents.
I
Listen,
know.
there've been numerous incidents
I'm
where,
quite well
for example,
aware. Okay.
a guy raped a woman, right?
Okay.
And then all of a sudden they identify as a woman in order for them to go to a woman jail. You get me? And their sentence is not sentence, but their sentence is sort of reduced because they have identified as a woman. You get me? So there's no line being drawn. Like there's no, like, there's no line being drawn, bro. Like there's no line to be drawn.
And
Why
also-
should
I want you to say
And
a
on your-
legislation, like what must us LGBTQ, like
Like, for
what
example-
law must we?
Okay, well, can I
For
just
example, like in Uganda, they've set a rule that they
Just
ban
hold
gay
on, just hold on.
LGBT.
Just let me check.
So must LGBTQ be banned in South Africa?
Yeah.
can I
In
also
a rainbow nation?
Okay.
Whoa. I think, Lungo, in terms of what you're saying, it goes back to the moral compass thing, actually. If you're using it as a weapon, come on. Like, if you're using it to escape jail, to get a lesser sentence, to hurt people, that's wrong.
But what
I
law
think,
must
I
be
think,
good?
I think you can also see now where that's wrong. Yeah.
But who?
Okay.
Yeah, but what?
Who? Yeah. Like what?
No, I think the thing is, you see what I'm agreeing with. What
I also
Ike is
agree with
saying
him. Of course,
is
I
that
agree with him.
All of a sudden, now it's like, oh, you identify as female, that won't work in court. It's the same as, oh, all of a sudden, no, if someone, like, for example, killed or is a serial killer, and throughout the whole trial they were fine, then all of a sudden when it's time for sentencing, oh no, we think that he's psychotic. All
But
of
people
a
are.
sudden, it's just.
But thing is,
it's-
you guys are
doesn't make
underestimating the
sense.
smartness of people. Like you can use these loopholes to your advantage.
Like,
If you can all of a sudden change,
Then now
like
you're saying
me-
people are
let me-
LGBTQ as an excuse.
No, but hold on. Can I
me
just say
live
something?
that's not what I'm saying.
You guys are literally.
Because in your
yeah,
examples,
I'm saying they are capable of using it. The fact
I
that
see the
they are capable of
capabilities, 'cause
using it.
I've known
So,
certain
so
things,
there's
like-
no rules to
like
prevent
even
that
in-
from
there's,
happening.
cases
That's
in
my point
boxing
exactly.
Where males would identify as women to fight
Okay,
women
can I have a-
and win quicker, and
your whole
So now,
LGBTQ, nah, all of it. You guys are literally. You want us to like redo our world. You guys are changing laws.
the
You guys
world
want
is always changing. though.
Ima. You want us to change everything that's already there. Laws. You want to get married. You know, all of these laws are being changed, right? Now, like, the same question again, right? If we're changing all of these things, there are loopholes that can be made. Let's say this person raped this person in 1960, right? Right? When they were a man. But now, around 1980, they changed their sexuality, right? Now, that person didn't do it the day before the trial. Now you can see that's a bit suspicious. But they did it then. So now what must happen
must
now?
happen?
It won't change because you, at the time when you hurt this person, when you violated this person's right,
you were identifying as a man. Oh my
So you
God,
won't
bro.
be sentenced as
Like we're
a man.
supposed
It
to just all of a
doesn't-
sudden
Can I
guess randomly.
finish? Can I finish? Thank
My bad,
you.
my bad.
My thing is, it doesn't change now all of a sudden because you have changed from Neo to thank you. So it doesn't change because at that time when you did what you were doing, you were
You were a
identifying
man.
as. There is no loopholes when it comes to that, unless from the get-go you have been identifying as a woman. But then again, there are also some countries where they don't care if you identify as a man or a woman. If you look like a woman, you go to a woman's prison. If you look like a man, you go to a male's prison.
As it should.
That's
Not
just
look,
how it is.
Okay, can I bring up something now? Can I bring up something, right? So now, what happens? Because I don't really have I think my concerns are more on like the gender stuff, like the transgender stuff. Like, okay, my first question is, what makes you transgender? Is it merely changing your pronouns, or is it going through the whole surgery,
sexual
or what? Like,
operation.
Like, where can you say that you are?
There's so many
Like,
Transgender.
no. Like this is a gen. This is gen.
Can I just ask? Okay, can you please just
Trans what? What?
Can you please
What? Okay,
can
what's
you
the
please
difference? This is genuine
differentiate
question.
the transsexual and the transgender?
If I'm wrong, please correct me. I'm not too sure, but I think that when someone is transsexual, it's when you have physically changed, like even your genitals and all that. I think that's transsexual. And then I think I'm not
Transsexual.
Yes,
Yes.
transsexual.
Okay,
right?
that makes sense.
Transgender is the one where you change
You can just
genitals,
choose.
and then transsexual is before, where it's like
Oh.
gender.
Yeah, transgender you can just choose and then
And then what happens? Like, can I ask you?
Also, like,
What
he has
what
a
happens to
point.
like formal documents then? Like,
Because
But
I
then
think,
now
I
we
think
ask, where
people
guys
are,
marriage, when a woman marries a man, there's obviously like procedures. So now there's gonna be procedures for LGBTQ. That's why I'm like, people are saying we're changing things, but the world is forever changing.
Can I ask what do you call it when a man is a man during the day? Okay, like a drag. What do you call that? Is that trans? Not trans.
That's sexuality. It's not gender.
when a man is what?
So he's a man during the day and at night he's a drag.
I'm cross-dressing. That's just cross-dressing.
Okay,
I think
okay.
there's like been a bit of a blur. Sorry, before you actually ask your question, there's been a bit of a blur in terms of like gender sexuality. I think now
what
we're
I've been
blurring.
saying.
No, but it seems like
Because then now,
Yeah, vele
now
ziyafana,
it's
vele
standing
they are the same.
for
for
gender.
things, right?
Let him
but,
ask his question,
remember,
please.
guys,
Okay,
there's
I'll
a
just-
difference. Your sex is what you're assigned at birth, right? Male, female. There's only
at
two,
birth.
right? Exactly. Male.
Just what you're
By
born
who?
with.
It's what you're born with. Either you have this or you don't. It's like it's male, female, right? Then gender. You get your three. I stand to be corrected, right? You get your
Three.
your woman, your man, and then you get your other.
Other.
Yeah, that's when your
What
Oh,
was
yeah.
that?
your non-binary
Like
comes
that
in.
could be
Your-
also like
your-
baby deformities if people are born. What is the thing?
If a baby is deformed, it's still a
no,
man.
that would be
Hermaphrodites, it's
Automile.
It's hermaphrodites.
Yes. But then that's
okay.
that's what she's saying.
Oh,
And then
that's
later
other.
on in
That's
life,
so
later on in life, that's where other would also be like, now I'm identifying my personal as I'm a man. I feel like I'm a woman. But cross-dressing is not like gender
Yeah,
or
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I feel comfortable in dressing like a man or a woman.
So that's not a sexuality.
It's like quite, it's either sides of the coin.
Right.
where
And then
it could
this
be,
this is
but then-
another. Oh,
Just
okay.
let him ask. Yeah, it was been.
Okay, I'm trying to ask when it comes to the respect thing, right? If someone, for example, let's say they're straight, right, and they grew up straight, and then they don't wanna identify people in the LGBTQ, I'm not sure what the name is, but they don't wanna identify them or call them by their pronouns and stuff like that. Why is it a problem for the LGBTQ people to respect the fact that they don't want to call you that's based on how they grew up or how they were brought up? Because the respect thing goes
don't wanna
both
respect
ways.
calling
Yeah.
you.
Not even just calling.
Yeah.
Because if the LGBTQ person says, please respect and call me by my pronouns, why can't you respect the fact that they see it like that?
That's the thing, though. If
Mike.
at the end of the day, even if
Then you
I'm not,
must not somebody.
the thing is, okay, I'm not gonna defend the LGBTQ and say, oh no, they must get their way. It must go both ways. If I don't respect you, you shouldn't respect me. I can't expect you to respect me if I don't respect you.
me, right.
That's just how it is. So if I don't want to identify you as what your pronouns are, then you don't have to identify me as my pronouns. It just goes both ways. I'm not gonna force you to.
Let's
do
put
it.
this.
But I think what he's trying to say, is that for him, like, the respect is him calling you like
As you are.
like yeah, like
And
your
then I'm gonna
gender
correct you, I'm
aside.
gonna say no. I'm sorry. I identify as he/him.
But
Then-
he thinks that's disrespect. That's disrespectful to him. Is what he's
Okay,
saying.
then let's just not talk. Let's just
Yeah,
not
let's
talk.
just not talk.
No, it doesn't make sense. What do you mean? Let's just not talk? Because
Let's
now,
just not
so
talk.
now
There's
must.
no respect.
So now we must.
Only because of an argument.
No.
Only because of the petty argument.
So are you guys
Can't
telling
decide.
me now that?
avoidance.
So now are you guys now telling me that as a nation we must split in the middle
Like
and
dog,
not communicate?
like
No,
bro.
and that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that if you don't want to respect me, then you can't expect me to respect you as well. So if we can't reach an equilibrium or like a point where we're in a gray area, dog, let's just leave it.
But my
alone.
point-
Yeah.
but
Let's
yeah,
put this into reality.
But this is literally what I
Let's
was-
put
this
this
is
into
literally what I
reality.
was saying. This is literally what I was saying.
You
In
can't-
religion, when we go and greet, like, you have Muslim greetings, right? When I greet a Muslim person, I can literally just say good morning or something. I don't know what the terms are or like the
what
greeting, and I don't want to be
exactly supposed to say.
disrespectful, right? But like, there are certain greetings in the Arabic or Arab language, you know what I mean, that you greet someone in. And you don't have to do that. An Arabic person or a person who is Muslim can't
Force you.
be like, I'm not going to talk to you because you
'Cause you can't
refuse
say-
to be like,
No,
salam.
we have the choice.
Right,
to
I
do
mean,
that. We have
how-
freedom of
Sorry,
choice.
Omar, I have a question then, because now you're speaking about the Muslim community, and I know some women specifically,
Yeah.
they don't shake hands.
And, yeah.
Yeah. So are you saying that, you know, because they say I don't shake hands.
Right.
So if you as a person say no, I insist on you shaking my hand. Do you not feel that that is some sort of disrespect?
But with the shaking hand thing, it can be like, it's not like you guys are saying, let's not talk. Let's just leave it alone.
Let's
With the shaking-
let's not put.
That's what
Let's.
you said. Whoa.
I wanted to say. I
That's
wanted.
what you
This
said.
this way. I want. Can I
Okay,
please?
when with the shaking hand thing, it can literally be like, let's not shake hands. Okay, but we can still greet each other.
Yeah, and still have a
move
civil
on.
conversation.
I can still say
You get
hi,
me?
good
It
morning.
doesn't stop where
Can
exactly.
go
I have
back
to
the
agree with you.
So let's not talk. Let's not like enforce the whole gender thing, and then we'll.
But that's what you guys are
continue
talking
lives.
about.
But-
no, but like I also realize, like you saying, you.
Let's put
focusing
this
on
into
specific
reality.
points
Let's
that
put
you're
what you.
saying.
Let's put
And
your
that's kind of
example. Let's put what we
No,
just.
but it's not unfair, guys.
No,
if you guys
because
are,
I'm like-
it
So
can't be
it's not
unfair.
Are you guys saying? Do
No,
you guys?
she said the same thing with a different example, and you said it's like it's fine. And
Right.
then you using the example you used, or
With the
whoever used that
LGBTQ.
example, and
Okay.
now it's like we.
Do you guys
we don't
mean?
wanna
Do you
speak
mean?
to
Do you mean like
So
like
now,
when you say
like-
let's not talk? Do you mean like let's not talk about the whole
Yeah,
gender
that's
thing, but we can still have we can still have a
be friends,
no
we can still, like,
oh
if you
okay
don't wanna
because the way
see
because
my
the
gender-
way you said it,
away,
it sounded
guys.
like you were saying no.
sorry.
let's just
We are all human beings.
No, I'm saying I'm
We are
not
human
asking
beings.
us
I'm not
to
gonna-
have that conversation, right? The same way
I thought
in
you
which
meant let's
I
not talk.
refuse to engage with someone who's racist because that racist is not going to respect the fact that I'm black.
Okay.
I am not going to talk to them. How is
To be
that
honest,
different?
nah.
Because if I, for example, am saying that I'm gay, right? If somebody's going to come to me and they're going to be homophobic, that person is not respecting my presence.
No, of course.
Why do I have to engage in a conversation with them? That is exactly what we're saying. Why is that different? Is
Okay.
it because they're gay? Is it because they're part of the LGBT
my-
community?
I'm- I
now
wanna-
they
I
are
wanna-
restricted
I
and
want
now
to
they
finish.
can't, distance themselves from conversations where they feel uncomfortable.
Okay.
They should be able to do the same thing.
Okay, but thing is, okay, I 100% agree with you, and very, very, very logical to say that we cannot speak to each other because I can't identify as you. But let's put this into reality, right? Scenario, we work together, right? Of course, I'm going to be sending you some messages, sending you some stuff to speak about. I won't mention your name all the time.
Okay.
I am going to say he,
Yeah.
she, her, whatever. So now, because you identify as they, I must continuously, every time I have to speak to you, I must remind myself, oh, ish,
So then
I can't say he.
This goes back to my.
I can't say he, I must say
This
they
goes
and
back to
them.
my point in legislation. So in a company, there will be grievances filed. So for that person, they're not gonna come. Obviously, they're gonna come to you and say, "Yo, this is they them," and then obviously they're not gonna continuously do it as if they're crazy. Then they file a grievance, and then if the company sees that they can't really keep pushing this agenda, then due to working, they will stop. Or if the ethics don't allow it, they will leave. But that's that person individual-wise.
So I must
see what I'm saying?
respect. I must
Yeah.
respect them.
No, I'm saying if they don't want you to call them he or him, and they want you to call them she, her, or they, them, there's legislation behind that company which will solve all of that. So there will be a grievance. Grievances is where you
I'm still
file in.
at the end of the day, I'm still gonna be compelled to
You're not
call
going to be
them.
compelled.
That's
I'm
what
saying
we
the
say that-
business is
yeah.
going to solve that issue because there's legislation behind it.
If legislation's like, dude, sorry, we don't really, go along with the whole LGBTQ. As a they, them, I have to accept that ish dog, I'm going to be referred to as she, her. And there's nothing I can do about that. That's what he's talking about, legislation. He's talking about within the workplace. Because obviously within the workplace, you have rules and regulations and everything that you have to go with. So if the workplace says, Lungo, listen, this is the person's identity, and unfortunately, if whether you like it or not, you have to identify as to them as they, them. Then there's nothing that you can do. And if the company goes against me, then there's nothing that I can do. If I want to quit, I'll quit. But that's all gonna be up to me. That's what he's saying.
Lucky.
Okay.
Give the mic.
Now, this is the second thing I wanted to ask, which I think is quite important. With the whole gender reassignment, and what happens now in like sports, like genuinely, like LeBron James says now, tomorrow I'm a woman. WNBA.
Ain't no way.
Everybody's getting absolutely annihilated. What
You can't
happens
say
now?
shit. You can't say anything.
Okay, let's talk about this.
Because
So,
there's no line.
Yeah, it happened in the UFC. Yeah.
Caster Semenya, right? I don't know if you guys have been.
Yeah,
involved
Yes,
in
Oh
this.
yeah, she won the case.
So
actually.
she won the case because even though her body produces more testosterone, she identifies as a woman and biologically she says that she's a woman, although she is lesbian. So with that, I think again, it all comes down to legislation, court cases, everything behind the scenes will be able to enforce, the line that you guys talk.
So now my question is, okay, legislation. So it has to, for the legislation thing to come in, it has to be a sports thing, or it has to be something that actually gets to the law. Like, what happens if someone today, like, just says,
One-on-one
I didn't like, now it's like,
It doesn't apply. It doesn't.
As in-
if you've
The
been
legislation
playing
doesn't
for a
apply.
soccer team, right, and you're a boy, and then now tomorrow you identify as a woman, and then you want to play for the girls team, obviously people are gonna complain,
Talk.
and they're gonna go to the coach, and the coach gonna go to it. It really it's still legislation.
but like, where, like,
Yeah, a rule must be
like,
placed,
where's
something
the, yeah, like,
There's no line being
Yeah.
drawn.
The line is the legislation, guys.
no,
The thing is, we would
it happened in the UFC.
What rules? If I can
There
just
was
wake
a-
up tomorrow morning and just call myself a woman.
No,
rules
in the UFC there was a guy who started like literally.
I know that, yeah,
he
he
was
identified as-
battering women,
Yeah, he was fucking them up.
I know.
like literally.
But then-
So now,
But then due to that, it was then made into a whole
After how
public
long?
case. No, but after how long, I get that. But it was made to a public case, and then it was solved, and then he was stopped in what he was doing. So that's what I'm saying. Like, everything is gonna lead to the whole public is gonna be involved. That's where the line is drawn, and that's where people are gonna say.
I think
No,
look,
but like after how long
think-
did it take
look.
for black people to wait? Hold up. After, I know like Grace is not in here, but after how long did it take black people to be at the same position as white people?
Okay.
And why
Everything
does
has a
this make you
process.
feel uncomfortable?
How?
Like all of a sudden,
Getting beat.
we're okay with it. With when it comes to racism, right? We're okay with it when black people are able to progress and we're no longer subject to the racism that we were subject to before, right? But when it comes to the LGBTQ community, no,
segregation is-
I'm sorry. Whoa. Well, can I just say something?
I don't think it's different. It's identity at the end of the day, right? That's how that person
I can wake up and
identifies.
identify as a
I
white person
identify.
tomorrow.
Okay, but then that's you.
Just
right?
hold on. Just hold
Then
on.
That's you. But I'm just saying, at the end of the day, when you compromise someone's identity, you compromise their whole being.
Yeah.
When you don't respect their identity, you don't respect their whole
At
being.
all, yeah.
And I
Sure.
feel like if we're so comfortable with us as black people now being at the position that we are right now today, as a result of years and years of struggle, then we should be just as comfortable with letting LGBTQ community or the LGBTQ community actually, be comfortable.
Well, we
in
Yeah,
okay.
society.
First of all, we're not fighting. Né?
Hold on.
Respect. We just
Let Lucky ask his
Look,
question. We need
look.
her.
I think we have to talk about what Kamu was saying here. We were talking about sports here. In terms of sports, those women already have a loss on their record. Caster Semenya lost, I think it was 4 years, ne? So that's what we're talking about here. We're asking, what are your guys' thoughts on that?
Yeah,
You were a woman in the UFC. Your record was 10-0. This gen comes in, he fucks you up proper. What now? That's what we're saying. We're not talking
I
about
think
not
with
accepting people for
sports,
being
it
gay or
becomes
anything like that.
incredibly difficult, right? Because I mean, if you look at the nature of sports to begin with, while we have women's sports and men's sports,
because we're different.
it's because we're built differently, right?
Yes.
We have different strengths, right? Women can play 3 sets, men can play 5. I mean, it's arguably some women can probably play 5
Yeah,
sets, right?
that
But it's the
one-
idea that you have different strengths, and so I think for me, that's when I draw the line.
Okay, example.
I think that perhaps maybe we need to, and I think that's something that a lot of sports are looking into, having maybe different leagues where we include
thought of
transgender
that.
individuals
I've heard
into
about
the
that.
sports.
Okay.
Instead of just excluding them as a whole, right?
Okay.
We include them into those sports because at the end of the day,
But-
right, they are still people.
Yeah,
right?
they're still people,
They are
yes.
still people. They
And it does-
too deserve to play the
It doesn't
sport.
change their chromosomes. You understand?
Exactly, it
So
doesn't
if I'm listen, for example, okay, cool.
Okay, maybe
Okay,
not
cool.
the chromosomes.
Yeah,
I'm not a
okay.
bio expert.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Another hypothetical thing. Okay, I wake up tomorrow, decide to do transsexual, whatever, castrate myself, grow some boobs and shit. on my birth certificate, woman, right? Now I decide to go play some sports. I'm a woman, I'm a woman.
I mean, that's okay.
It doesn't change your X and Y
No,
chromosomes, whatever the fuck you call it.
Change is it changes your hormones.
Yeah.
The same hormones
It's still gonna make
that
me.
give you that
It's still gonna make me
automatic
superior than you. It's not gonna change
Yeah.
shit. I'm naturally born superior than
The thing
you.
is, you see how you're deciding to change, right? You can't just grow boobs overnight. You have to take supplements. And
Even though I'm gonna take
Can
those
I
boobs,
just
no matter
finish?
how
Can I
long it
finish?
takes.
Can I
Like no
finish?
matter how long it takes.
Okay, but listen. The supplements that you take are gonna
Guys,
lower your
sorry,
testosterone.
I'm so sorry. We're going to have to. Are we not doing a part 2?
Okay, so they're gonna lower your
We'll just chop this
testosterone
into
and
two,
then you're
bro.
gonna increase your hormones. You're gonna quote unquote have the same strength eventually as a woman. Not exactly the same, but it's gonna lower like a woman because of the supplements that you're taking.
I must take outside. Like,
I
doesn't
do
make
know that,
sense,
but I'm
guys.
saying
Yo.
that if he wants to change his biological,
No.
He's
It's science. It's science.
That's
Yes.
legit a living fact. She was born like that.
Iman,
she was
her
born with more
testosterone-
She's still.
testosterone.
It doesn't change shit.
Okay,
She's
whoa.
still a woman.
Okay, but do you guys know that hormones fluctuate?
She
And
is
if you
still
take,
a
like,
woman.
The whole idea of like contraceptives
Whether she has
as well.
more testosterone than me or not,
Your
she
hormones-
is still a woman.
Your hormones will fluctuate. So one day she could be like me. One day she could be like
I'm talking about
Lomo.
supplements.
Medication.
I'm not talking
You
about.
see supplements, man. You see.
Okay.
Right.
But the chat was about sports. You guys are going off topic.
And now another question
adding
is-
your own
Sorry,
thing.
I
Yeah.
don't think we went off topic.
And another-
We explained why the certain medication that you have, right, alters the hormones that you have.
No,
so at the end of the day, if you decide not fully, but at the same time, it goes back to what we were saying. There's certain legislation in place, right, that still does that whole testosterone count. That's why the
I must
whole,
go wait
the-
for
the whole-
legislation.
No, but that's why the whole Caster Semenya situation.
Full.
Damn, I don't even know what's the most thing. That's fine, man.
Just record, boy. Yeah, just record.
Hold on.
Just hold on, yeah.
Guys,
Is the battery full?
no, Iman, hold on, guys. We can't keep cutting points off to wrap it up. Let's make a part 2.
Bro, we're going around in circles. Like,
How are we going around and go?
literally
It's
being
okay.
going around in circles.
But we have to, though. That's the point of the thing.
Okay, but I've got a question for.
Even if we're going second round, there's points being.
Yeah.
Do you think
No, don't
if
ask
I
questions.
were
now.
to, yeah?
You're not on camera, Eve.
Oh, it's fine. No, even if we're not, like genuinely.
Wallahi, as LGBT, we're being quiet. Whatever
full point.
Shoot point.
Can you guys like
Continue.
We won't reach it.
It's 1-1. Final score's 1-1.
Because you guys will always have a
It's not
conversation.
supposed to
No,
be
no.
the way we
Do you think? Oh,
We're not shooting it.
oh no, I thought. Oh, we're not done.
We're not done.
Oh,
Okay, so wait, are we after this? Are we killing it?
okay.
Finish your point.
So basically what I'm saying is it goes back to the legislation that's already in place, right? The reason why we're able to have conversations like, Caster Semenya is because we've seen some sort of loophole in the system, right? We know that Caster Semenya has a higher testosterone count. And so we're able to say that, okay, now we know this is the required testosterone count that we have in order to make sports fair. And I say this in quotation marks because obviously this is an altering process. This is a process that's still ongoing, right? But I mean, this is something that's there in sports all around. As soon as we see some sort of rig or some sort of loophole in the system, there's something to back it up, right? There's always something to say, listen, because we know that your testosterone level is high, in order to equal the playing field, this is what you'll have to take. And I feel like that's still basically it proves your whole argument in terms of sports. It shows that there is some sort of equal playing field that still exists within sports.
Okay. Opinions aside,
Yeah.
but LG what. Opinions aside,
Yeah.
if I were to transition, do you think after all of my transition and what, you'd physically be stronger than me?
As a
Logically.
woman.
When I'm transitioning, I turn into a woman. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I go through the whole process. I don't know the process. I'm sorry, but whatever it is, do you believe that at the end of the day, that you would somehow possibly, in any way, physically be stronger than me?
Of course not, because you're biologically
Of course
stronger.
not. Exactly. That's our point.
Guys,
Exactly.
I didn't say you would completely change. I just said there would be changes, and you wouldn't be as strong as you were if you were.
doesn't
a
change
boy.
the fact that I'll be
Can I
stronger than you.
You don't even have the mics there.
It doesn't.
Who are you
It doesn't change the fact that I'll still be stronger than you.
I understand that. We didn't deny that. All I'm saying is that there would be changes. I'm not saying that you're gonna be the same
Bro,
strength.
sorry. This, I don't know, bro.
Can you please stop nitpicking everything we say?
Yeah, let's cut it up. Finish it off.
Let's chat about
Nah, like, wallahi,
No, let's chat about
everything we
mental
say
health.
is nitpicked.
Hold on.
Everything we say is
This
nitpicked.
camera, is it full?
I don't know.
Oh yeah,
I think it's full, yeah.
It's compared with Michael Phelps, right?
Michael Phelps was also a chief in the
Shh, whoa,
Everything we
whoa, guys, whoa. Please end the call.
Charge
Yeah,
the
wrap it
whole
up.
thing. This
You
camera's
hear
not
oats.
responding, so
Wrap it up.
Hi, guys.
You say the sky is blue, you say why?
Just wrap it up, please.
It just shows that your thing doesn't.
Just wrap it
Okay. Anyway, guys, you saw what's going on here. We weren't really we're going back and forth. We're forever. We're going to be fighting,
I said we can't reach an equilibrium. I'm disagreeing with you. Yeah.
and we're not going to be we're going to be fighting forever. So
Not fighting, guys. We're trying to understand. We're not fighting.
Okay, but let's just wrap
You
it up.
can't nitpick every point.
Okay. So guys, thanks for coming through. Do all the things, like, comment,
They hear
subscribe. Bye,
oats.
guys.
Bye, guys.
They hear oats.